So I didn't record it. So anyway, I'm not going to preach today. No comment from anybody. So, okay. I don't know why I'm expecting y'all to talk. Y'all never talk anyways. Take glasses. I swear I take glasses like this. Okay. So, can you turn that back switch off? It's glare, messing me up. So, when we're talking about, that's it. When we're talking about interest, we're talking about simple interest, compound interest, and continuous interest. And I'm going to write those on the board for you. Simple interest. Simple interest you can basically do with the Walmart equation. Walmart equation is x plus or minus percentage x is equal to the total. Okay? And with interest, which one do you think you're going to use? Plus or minus? No, because you add interest. So with the interest, you're always going to use the plus symbol. So it's going to be x plus percentage x is equal to the total. Okay? And we're going to go through that, but I'm just going to write all these down. Then there is compound interest. And compound interest is A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. Now you're going to see that a lot in the next upcoming sections because that is part of the amortization problem, which gives you your payment plan on your car, your house, your credit cards, your student loan. So you're going to see that again. So you've got compound interest, and then you've got continuous interest. And you're going to see these again in the slides. Continuous interest is per. P is equal E to the RT power, per. Now the banks, different banks use different things, but the banks use compound interest and continuous interest. Well, who uses simple interest? Well, let's say I want to let Miss Riddle borrow $1,000, but at the end of the year, she's got to pay me back 12% interest. Okay? I just made a loan to a friend or a family member. Do not ever loan people in your family money. Okay? Don't do it. It don't work. Never does. Or your best friend. Now, you're likely to have a stranger pay you back more than a best friend. Because family members and best friends, what do? They lean on that relationship and you don't get your money back. So, but anyway, if you're going to let somebody borrow money and you don't want to go through all of the paperwork and you don't want to go through all of the, then that's when you use simple interest. Okay? If you're in a bank or a contract situation, you're going to use the other two. All right? Question on that. Now, I wanted to go ahead and show you those three formulas because you're going to use them. I mean, you're going to see all three of those in these slides that we're fixing to do, and these are going to be examples. Okay? Now, you're talking about a third of your test here. If I give you 20 questions, you're talking about at least 6 questions that'll have to do with these three things. Capiche?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so somebody can talk. Thank you. A principal. Okay? Now, I always thought it was PLE, and I always thought the PAL was always the guy at the school. But evidently I'm wrong. Principal, PAL, is also a financial formula, but it's what is put into the bank. So you might want to write principal, put into the bank. That's what you're actually putting into the bank. If you get a $3,000 and you want to put it in the savings account, then the principal is $3,000. Oh man, y'all have to excuse me. My head's been hurting all morning and I just have a wave of a headache. I think I slept wrong because it's hurting from the back of my neck, bottom of my neck, to the top of my head. So that means you slept wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Mr. B. Appreciate the interaction. Next, simple interest. Is interest only paid on the principal? It's not compounded and it's not done with continuous interest. It is only just simple. Oh, Lee, we already went over that. Yep. Compound interest. We'll get into that. You don't have to write these down. I mean, you just write down. You write down the principal is what you put into simple interest. I've already shown you that formula. And compound interest, you don't need to write those down because I already showed them to you. And you'll see them again in just a second. While the bank always pays compound interest, bonds usually pay simple interest. Suppose you invest $1,000 in a savings bond that pays simple interest 10% per year. How much total interest will you receive in 5 years if the bond paid compound interest? Would you receive more or less? Okay. Now there's two ways you can do this. I don't know if they're going to do it both ways. But one way is put in 1,000 plus 0.10 of 1,000. So do that in your calculator. You don't have to do it in your calculator because what's 10% of 1,000?
100.
So 100 plus 1,000 is what?
100.
1,100. So, and then you're going to do interest on 1,100 the next year. So 1,000 plus 0.10 of 1,000 is equal to 1,100. So at the end of the first year, how much do you have? So now we're going to put what here on the second year? 1,100 plus, and this is where you might need to use your calculator because some of you may not be able to do $110 in your head.
Bond that pays simple interest.
We're doing simple interest right here.
Yeah, so it's just
0.10 times 1,000. I'm sorry, 1,100 is equal to what? What's 1,100 plus 110? Or somebody do the math. And you got to do that. I mean, how many years is the simple interest?
5 years.
5 years. So we got to do this 5 times.
1,210.
1,210. And then you do that 5 times. And then, see, they're also, I think they're getting the cart before the horse because they haven't even shown you the compound interest formula yet. I don't know, that kind of confused me. Doesn't it say paid compound interest? They haven't even shown you the formula yet. Okay. A is equal to 1,000 times 1 plus 0.10 divided by 1 raised to the NT power, which is 1 times how many years? 5? 5 years. So here you're going to take, that's going to be 1.10, so 1,000 times 1.10 raised to the 5th power. And what does that come out to be? What's 1.10 raised to the 5th power times 1,000? What? Let me punch it through the calculator and see.
1,600.
1,000 what?
1,610.
1,610 point what?
51.
51. Okay, that's compound interest. Now, how in the hell are you supposed to know that when they haven't even given you the formula? I don't know, but maybe they're fixing to show you on the next slide how to do it because they don't have enough room there. But does everybody understand why you're going to do it 5 times here? This is your first year. This is your second year. Your third year is going to be 1210 plus 0.10 times 1210 is equal to, let's do that last one. What is 1210? That'd be 121, be 1331. Somebody check me. Somebody do the third one for me and see if it's 13.
Yeah, you got it right. I just got it.
Okay. And then the next one would be 1331. Let's just go ahead and do it. 1331 plus 0.10 of 1331. And that's equal to 133 be 464. 1464. Somebody check me.
It's 1464.1.
How'd you get 0.1?
I really don't know. I just put it in like you did.
Okay, we'll just leave it at 1464. That's good enough for government work. 1464 plus 0.10 of 1464. Oh, I know why, because of the 0.1. I see, so that's going to be 146.4, 1628. Somebody check me. There may be some change. I'm not worried about the change. We already decided that what's better, simple interest or compound? Simple
I got
interest
16.
What'd you get?
16.
I got 1610.
Okay.
0.4.
That's fine. 1610. So what's better? Okay, 0.4. It's about equal. Now, let's see what they do because they haven't even shown you either one of the... So, I don't know how they're going to show it to you, but maybe I got the cart before the horse. Now, we're going to do several of these, so you don't need to jump around in hysterics or anything. Oh, they're going to show you. So make sure you write down my answers. Do this, please. There. Okay, they're going through a whole bunch of slides to do something simple. And they're giving you, there it is. Now, let me tell you what this book does. This book does not believe that you have sense enough to know that R stands for rate. And the original problem, and just ignore this, okay? In 99.9% of the books that you have in business, A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power, okay? Let me reemphasize that. In 99.9% of the books that you get taught this formula, it's going to be looking like that. Then Hubert, why does this book write it like this? Because this book sucks, okay? This book thinks you are not smart enough to realize what R over N is. So what they do is they say, well, we'll just make two different formulas. We'll make one for when y is 1 year, and then we'll make one for y when y is equal to, or t is equal to more than 1 year. So now they have to memorize two formulas instead of one. So we're just going to ignore this, and we're going to use what every other business book and math book uses in the real world. So we're going to ignore that and use A is equal to P plus 1 over R over N to the NT power. Does everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Now you don't have to, if you go with this book, you got to memorize two formulas. This formula, and then see, they don't even use the right variables. So frustrating. Okay, what does this say? Simple and compound. You invest $100 in two accounts. Okay, this is the previous question, isn't it? Huh?
No.
Okay.
That one was
The other one was 1,000, wasn't it? Okay, I'm not going to. Okay, simple interest. This is where they're going to do it 1 year, then 2 years. Okay, that's what we did a while ago. Okay? Does everybody understand what we did? You do 100 plus, what's 10% of 100? Huh?
10.
Be 110. Then you take 110, and then that becomes what? Okay, does everybody see it? I mean, we did that a while ago. Using the Walmart equation. X plus percentage X is equal to the total. Okay? I'm not going to go through that again. I don't know why they just didn't do that with 1,000 like they did start off with. Oh, so frustrating. And it's $11 more. Compound interest is going to be your best bet. The only thing that will give compound interest a run for its money is what? Continuous interest. Continuous and compound give you about the same amount of money. Write that down. Compound and continuous pretty much is equal. Sometimes depending on the amount of money you put in, the continuous interest is usually a little bit more. Little bit.
Which one did you say is usually a little bit more?
So continuous, which we haven't got to those problems yet. Okay, so we're gonna ignore. Well, I'm not gonna ignore this because I want to get to the. Just bear with me. Okay, show how quarterly compounding affects $1,000 investments per year. Okay, do this one. And quarterly, what does quarterly mean? That means that the computer at the bank is going to compound every 3 months. So how many times is quarterly? 4 times. And you got to know these words. And let's write them down. What is annually? Once a year. And y'all should know that. 1, or N, is equal to 1. What is semi-annually? Semi-annually is twice a year. So N is equal to what? 2. Quarterly. N is equal to 4. Monthly. N is equal to 12. Thank you. And you're going to see that a lot with your payment plans, like on your car or your house or your credit card or whatever. Daily. N is equal to 365. So these are key words that you're going to see in your sentence, in your sentence. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight that right there because that's going to be given, and that leads to this right here that should you know it? Yes. Do people know it? No. So there it is. You need to learn it. All right, so here we go. Because we're going to ignore their formula. A is equal to how much you putting in? $1,000, right? 1 plus, what's the rate?
8%.
0.08 divided by 1 raised to the n, which is 4, n times t, and it said per what? Year, so 1 year. Okay, this is t, this is r, this is n, and this is p. Now get your handy dandy calculator out, because there's only one way to do this problem, and it's on a calculator. And I'll show you how to do it. Now you got to learn how to do it, because if you don't, you're going to suck at it. So let me go to the handy dandy calculator. Oh, hold on. I'll keep it now. Go to the. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. Okay, so let me pull up the whiteboard now. There we go. And there we go. All right, so I'm going to do 1,000, or I'm going to do 0.08. You work your way from the outside in. 0.08 divided by 1. Of course, it's 0.08. And then what are we going to add that to?
1.
1. You read the formula. You read it right here. 0.08 divided by 1 plus 1. And then what are we going to raise that 1.8 to? The fourth power. I'm sorry. 1.08. I thought I already hit it. To the fourth power. And multiply that by what?
1,000.
1,000. And 1360.48 is your compound interest. Okay? That's what you get after 4 years. Now, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't even know where they got the 2%.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Okay? The only thing I can think they're doing is they're doing it by month. Okay? And that's not right. Or per quarter.
Yeah, they're doing it per quarter.
And they're not getting the same number I'm getting. Wait a minute. Yeah. Quarterly compounding per year. 1 year. So I don't know what they're doing. Just trust me. Okay? I want you to learn how to do 1 plus r over n raised to the nt power. Do I put this on the test? No. This little chart they're doing, I don't know what they're doing. All right? But you're going to have this question on the test. Just bear with me. I hate this book. I'm sorry, but I do. I really hate this book. So we're going to keep going. There, golly, here we are. There's the second formula you're supposed to remember. But you don't have to remember it. You just have to remember my formula. Does everybody see why I don't like this book?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my formula that I told you to learn. And that all the other books, A is equal to times 1 plus r over n raised to the nt power. And again, I'm going to say that 99.9% of any math book or business book is going to use that formula.
1 plus r.
So make sure you know how to use that formula, because no telling what this homework is going to throw at you, because And you don't have to write it again if you don't want to, but that's the formula. And hopefully we'll get to a decent problem here in a minute. This looks good if they don't do it by the month. You deposit $5,000 in a bank account that pays an APR of 3% and compounds interest what? Monthly. How much money will you have after 5 years? Okay? I'm not going to do the second part because nobody ever does that. So we're going to do the first part because that's the test question. So here we go. A is equal to 5,000 times 1 plus, what's R? 0.03 divided by N. What is N? Monthly raised to the N times how many years?
5 years.
Where am I getting all this information? I'm just pulling it out of the air, or is it in the question?
It's in the question.
All right, so let's take our, since I don't have posters, let's take our handy dandy green highlighter, and I'm going to highlight 5,000 right here, and I'm going to highlight right there. And then I'm going to take yellow highlighter, and I'm going to highlight 3% in yellow, and that is right there. Then I'm going to take my highlighter, and I'm going to highlight aqua, and aqua is right there. That's not aqua, that's blue. But anyway, that's there and there. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter, magenta, and that is right there. That's purple. Some damn Nigerians. Miss Anya's store, you had something to do with that, didn't you?
Huh?
I'm kidding. It's a joke. Oh, Lord. All right, do the math. Now I've got to go in here, and I've got to take my handy-dandy calculator. Keep. And I'm going to do my handy-dandy calculator. And now watch. I'm not going to write anything down. You don't have to. 0.03 divided by what?
1.
12.
Okay. 12. 1 to 12. Yeah.
Enter. Plus what? 1, Hubert. And now, I'm not going to multiply 13 times 5 or 12 times 5 because I really do think, and I have confidence in y'all, that y'all can multiply 12 times 5 in your head. What is 12 times 5?
60.
So you raise that, hit the caret symbol to the 60th power, because 12 times 5 is 60. And then you multiply that by what? 5,000. All right. And I didn't multiply it, so let me go back. I messed up. 1.1616782 times 5,000. I forgot to hit the time symbol. Enter. I got 580808. Somebody check me.
That's what I got.
All right, write that down because that's not what they're going to get. They're probably going to do that adding up thing, which I don't know why they do that, but they do. Let me go back to the slideshow. Hold on. Oh. All right, so hit enter. And they go through all of that. And they're going through all of that. And they go through that. Is that what we got?
Yep.
It's a miracle. Now they're doing something normal. All right. Make sure you can do this problem. This is the first problem that is going to be on the test. Well, simple interest, and I showed you the simple interest a while ago. You got somebody that wants to borrow $500, and you charge them 10% interest. How much do they pay at the end of the year? That'd be $550 because it's 10%, the Walmart equation. So that's how you do simple interest. This is compound interest. So make sure you take a picture, make sure you watch this that right there is the test question right there. Except I'm not going to use APR and n to the y power. I'm not going to use that because nobody uses that. Okay? Now I think they're going to do it by month, which is not what I want you to do, but what are they doing here? Yeah, they're doing once a year. And now they're going to add all that up. Let's see, for interest paid once a year. Okay, so they're not putting in, they're just raising it to the 5th power. And again, you can see that you make more money with compound versus what? Once a year. They do nothing but confuse people. Okay. All right, write this down. Annual percentage yield. This is a little formula that you use for your homework. I don't do too many test questions on this. It's just a real simple formula. And write down annual percentage yield. There's annual percentage rate, which is R. Mark that out. That's R. Okay? Usually it's lowercase r in most of your business books. Lowercase r is an annual percentage rate. Okay? APY, that's what we're learning, annual percentage yield. And then they're going to give you the formula here in just a minute. Okay? Okay, they're not giving it to you. All right, they're not going to do anything on that one. All right, here is PERT. A is equal to PERT, continuous. A is equal to PERT. Because I don't use this because this book is stupid. So I use A is equal to P times E to the RT, PERT. Because if you go into a business class right now and you go into this section, you're not going to see APR, you're going to see R. And you're not going to see Y, you're going to see T. Now you got to know how to use E on your calculator. E is right down there near the logarithms. So go ahead and find it. It's usually second natural log, I believe. Because they're going to give you a problem here next. All right? And I'll write the formula down for you. And I'll plug and chug for you. All you got to do is do it on the calculator.
Just with the exponent, right?
A, is equal to P times E to the RT. And in this case, it's going to be 100 times E to the 0.08 times 10 years. Now hold on a minute. You don't need your calculator yet. What's 10 times 0.08? You're just going to move the decimal one place to the what?
Right.
To the right. So that's going to be 0.8 in there. Now you can use your calculator. So you would type in 100 times second natural log, and then it'll put it in parentheses. It'll ask you for what's the exponent, and you type in 0.8, close parentheses, and hit enter. And what do you come out with?
222.54.
222.54?
55.
Okay, somebody check her. See if that's what you get. While I pull up the calculator and we do it through the calculator. So everybody get your calculators out. Make sure you can do this. Miss Riddle, how we doing?
I'm copying.
I'm copying, okay. Then I'll just wait. pull up the calculator. All right, is it second natural log? Yes. All right, so I'm going to give y'all a second to write everything down. Tell me when you're through, Miss Riddle, and that way I can...
Oh, I'm finished.
Okay, give y'all a few... All right, get your calculators out. And 100 times E, second natural log, which is down on the lower left-hand side, 3 rows up, 0.8, close parentheses. That's what it should look like.
I feel like a genius.
100 times E, which is second natural log, and then type in 0.8 and close parentheses. And hit enter. And you should get 222.55.
Yes.
Okay, make sure everybody can get that. Mr. B?
I ain't getting that. I don't know how to do
Suck,
this shit.
Mr. B.
What? You just hit the second button, and then I found the log button. Because if you hit
Okay, you gotta
second,
do
then
second
you can do
log, natural log. That's the LN. Second
Oh, it's
natural
under
log.
that. Oh, it's that one, and then you do
8,
in parentheses.
close parentheses and enter.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay, anybody else having problems? That is a test question. So now I want y'all to do this. I want y'all to do, if I can get back to the screen, I want y'all to do this with, we did it with continuous, now do it with compounding. And let's say you only compound monthly. Let's say you compound monthly. So I'm going to draw a line right here. Let me just go up there because I can't draw with a mouse. I'm going to draw a line right here. And we're going to say compounded monthly. And as soon as I say monthly, y'all know not to use the continuous, but what? The compound interest. A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. So that's going to be A is equal to 100 times 1 plus, what is it, 0.08? Divided by what? 12. Raised to the 12 times what? 5?
10.
Is it 10? So
10.
that's going to be 100, 1 plus 0.08 over 12 raised to the 120th power. And y'all work that in your calculator. Somebody holler out an answer when you get one.
I got 221.96.
221.96. Okay, somebody got 222.05. Okay, we got two answers. Somebody verify one of them. Or check it.
When I did the first one, it gave some big number with E to the something at the end. I don't know what my calculator is doing.
Blame it on the calculator. Blame it on the Russians. Let's take our handy dandy calculator and see what happens.
Oh my gosh, this is killing me because now I got the answer sheet out.
Okay, I'm fixing to do it, so y'all just chill. 0.08 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the 120th power time 100. 221.96.
Oh, my calculator's not on drugs.
So now it's not the calculator's fault, right?
No, it's not. I said my calculator's not on drugs like I thought it was.
Oh, okay. So 221 should be your answer. Now, the reason I did this was because I wanted you to see, is there a really big difference between continuous and compound?
No.
Not really. The banks, you may go to this bank and they use the compound formula in their computers. You may go to this bank and they may use continuous interest. It's not a big deal. You're not going to sit up there and say, well, I'm not going to use this bank because y'all use continuous interest and y'all don't give me enough money. Continuous and compound usually run neck and neck. Okay? The reason they use it is because they don't have to do as much calculating. If you look, the continuous interest is a shorter what? Formula. That's the difference. Okay?
So it comes down to being lazy.
Yeah, pretty much. It always comes out to how much work is done. That's what it always comes out to. All right, so that's the answer. But make sure you can do both. Now, those are the 3 formulas. I don't know what else we're going to go over in this section, but we'll look at it and see. Because usually the first section is just on interest. So let's go and see what they got. 222.55, and that's the answer. I just threw this in. The compound is just extra. I wanted to show you that there's not much difference. And that's it. Okay, so when you go to the homework tonight, and I know y'all fixing to blow up, but when you go to the homework, that's pretty much going to be it. Those 3 questions. It's going to be simple interest, compound interest, and continuous interest. Make sure you send questions if you got questions. Now, let me go ahead and tell you. I'm going to keep it what? What's the KISS method?
What's what method?
What is the KISS method?
Well, I don't know.
Y'all's parents really suck. KISS stands for Keep It Simple Stupid. Okay, that's what the KISS method is. Y'all have never heard of the KISS method?
I have, but I've never heard it called the KISS method. I've just heard the long version.
Oh, you just heard Keep It Simple?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like to say stupid. I don't like that word. There's 2 words I really don't like. Well, actually 3 words. But one word is stupid and the other one is idiot. I can't stand that. I can't stand those 2
I can't stand when people use the R word. It makes me so mad. Do you know what R word I'm talking about? No?
No.
Like when people say retarded, it really makes me mad.
Uh-oh, I hope I hadn't said that. Have I said that?
I don't think so, but like I have a lot of special needs in my family, so when people say it, it like offends me.
Now, I will refer to the short bus because I was put on the short bus when I was in 2nd grade.
Oh, you can say a short bus all you
Yeah,
want.
you can say that. I just think it's really rude when people say that word. Like it's just disrespectful.
Well, I know it's disrespectful, but actually, the word came before the symptom. The word was actually meant for something else. But anyway, I'm not defending it. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I don't like that word. I don't like idiot and I don't like stupid. All right, now, the reason I was going to tell you, some of those homework questions are going to tell you to fill out like every year and do like 5 or 6 like we did on that first problem. Those are not test questions. You do those, get by with them, try to get the right answer, but those are not test questions. If you want to send them to me, we'll do them in class. I don't mind doing them in class, but they are not test questions. The 3 test questions are, you loan somebody $500, okay? You get it back at the end of the year, at 5% interest. Use the simple interest formula. That's one question. The other question is the compound interest. The other question is the continuous interest. Everybody understand that? Those tables with all those each year and each, don't do that. All right. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all Monday. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.